following foundation: a single tenure of 6 years, rotation of power between North and South and among the geopolitical zones and the senatorial zones for the governorship, and also single tenure for the presidency and single tenure for the governorship, 6 years, removing the billions we spend in re-election and the uncertainty it brings to our electoral process, plus the corruption it also brings. And also, we are seeking for all elections to be conducted in one day, reducing the cost of conducting election, getting more citizens involved on election day, and reducing to the barest minimum the possibility of rigging, because you will have those interested in the presidency, in the governorship, in the state assembly, in the national assembly, in the local government, all turning up to vote for their different candidates. Each of the polling units will be populated, and that can help to provide a lot of defense. And we're also pushing for all pre-election matters to be settled 30 days before election to avoid the situation that people are sworn in and we are still in court on who is the candidate of that political party. And also that post-election litigation should focus only on the outcome of the election, not on the things that happen before the primaries, because those things does not matter once the people makes their decision. And that is why before the people make their decision, all pre-election matters must be settled. And also post-election litigations must be decided before the person is sworn in. That means we are tinkering with the timeline for the election to give room and accommodate the fact that every litigation must be addressed before swearing in. And also mandatory transmission of results and 7 years with option of no fine for any electoral officer who makes any announcement of a false result that is not in tandem with the result that is expected to be electronically transmitted from the polling unit alongside the accreditation. I'm also trying to legalize the innovation by INEC, where the dashboard also have the number of accreditation popping up automatically, different from whether you transmit or you don't transmit. This will also help for us to automatically know the total number of people who voted in that particular area.
It will be rotated between the 3 territorial districts of each state. Those of us from Kogi State and Benue State, for example, knows what is happening in our states, if not by divine intervention. There are people from my own zone and from the Kogi Central that we were able to have it after 16 or so years from the other senatorial district. I'm sure those of you from Benue State know what is happening. If this can be accepted and adopted in the new coming constitution that is being proposed, the reviewed constitution, it will bring harmony and more development to those states.
We will not pretend not to have known the several agitations over time of where the presidency should go. When it goes north, those in the south will begin to clamor. The next will be our turn. And in most cases, people don't get the turns because they just wish it's their turn. Same goes for several areas, several states, where we begin to hear things like, oh, the central has gone, the south has gone. A certain people might be disadvantaged. But if we cure these defects with these amendments, everybody would be guaranteed that sometime you will have the opportunity, and that will bond us the more.
United in Nigeria, and Nigeria must be peaceful. And it is on this purpose that we look at it that coming up with a single term, most especially looking at a rotation from the south and from the northern part of Nigeria, it can provide some stability to Nigeria, and we'll be able to work together to enhance development. You will agree with me that we have a lot of young people that have gone through difficulties, schools, and now we have bulk of number of unemployed young people that are out there. We have human potentials in Nigeria. We must harness these potentials. The world is ruled by ideas, and these ideas, we must be able to harness these ideas to be able to trigger and facilitate the development of Nigeria.
The people of the country are tired of the vicious circle.
every year electoral reform, and we have reformed nothing. We want to focus on the outcome now, and also the process. But also to get a good outcome, you have to have a good what? Process. In this case, we want the election to be held the same day. That is one. And the second one is that over-focus, overindulgence in re-election campaign has dealt a large blow to the country, where every day, every time one is elected, he leaves governance and move on to politicking from the first day. And you find out that what we do is vicious circle with governance, why people continue to do things that they will look at as what they will show as a scorecard for another election, not actually a long-term plan for people-oriented projects that will grow our economy and others. What they do, what that entails, is that our people will now focus on legacies, not re-election.
In most elections that are scattered, the government in power carries the day. So we must come to a conclusion on how everybody will be brought back to a table. All these scattered elections brought back, Nigerian elections held the same day. That way there will be no undue influence. People are no longer voting people of their choice. Those in power now carry the elections the way they want, simply because the challenges are there, but they are in charge of the security and other apparatus of the electoral process. That is the more reason why we must bring this thing to the table, let Nigeria begin to behave like those countries that are democratic.